Sean and I always like to get close. We always like, if we go to lunch, we sit next to each other just to, you know, hold hands.
Where's Nick?
Where is Nick? He usually happens.
Anybody see Nick? Where's Nick? Big head mode. Bigger. Just so you know, Nick's dad made him that. How many of your dads will make you a big head mode? That's amazing.
I didn't see a hand go up for that, so there might be two.
All right, that's even creepier. Just like just kind of looking over the edge of the table.
My dad's watching right now, so.
Where's Dad at? Where is he?
He's watching live.
On Twitch? Excellent.
And his username is probably going to be Mr. Sprinkles. So.
Once again, how many of your dads have the name Mr. Sprinkles?
Nick's dad is awesome.
Hey everybody, welcome to the ScrewAttack Panel. This is us. For those of you who don't know, I'll give you a quick rundown. Nick, start who you are.
I'm Nick.
I'm Fred.
I'm Brian.
I'm Sean.
I'm Sam.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Chad. All right. That's right. Walking around, Chad. So today we're gonna be really casual about today. We have a little bit, we got just a tiny little bit of structure because we've been working on, SGC. So we figured we'd share a few things that are coming up on the horizon of ScrewAttack and things we're working on, things that are going to be happening in the next 6 months, year or so. Then just kind of open it up to Q&A. We got a special video game vault, which is going to debut here first, that Nick put together, and he is ensured everyone may fall over and die from laughter. So, yep. So I'll just start off really quick. You look like you're going to say something, Chad. What's up?
Oh yeah, I was going to say, first of all, who's having fun?
Who here? I see some faces out here that were with me last night. For those who don't know, the panel name was 007-373-5963, and that is the code to fight Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And I sat on that corner of the stage over there playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I started at 11 o'clock and we finished right around 5 last night in a pig bump. And I lost every single time. Feedback, right? Yeah, it was crazy, but it was so much fun, and I'm really tired today. Yeah. Was it worth it? Yeah, it was worth it. But the thing is, we had to stop simply because this poor young lady here on camera, the camera over here, she was just hanging out. We got Mr. Rusko in the back, the guy who does all of our stuff back there, all of the twisting and tweaking, making that thing look pretty, and for everyone on the stream and stuff. And they just stayed up with me all night, and then they woke up 3 hours later to be here to pick. So I didn't want to. Let's give them a big round of applause. But I swear to God, I swear that before SGC is over, Mike's going down. What's up? Hey, all right. Hey, Dr. Robotic. Okay, so how about this? Does anybody have anything they'd like to share right now? Any funny stories or anything? And then I'll get into the stuff that's coming later on. Does that sound good? Sure. Okay, cool. So, Lauren, real quick, you and Sam wanted to talk about pulled pork sandwiches.
Well, before we actually talk about food, we really wanted to talk about vomit for a second.
Vomit.
The amount of times that we have all either vomited or come very close to vomiting at this job is unbelievable. How many of you have seen the half-gallon challenge? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. How many of you have Advantage content and have seen when we got Craig spit all over us?
Actually, I think I'm one of the only people that hasn't vomited at work. I've seen a lot of us do it, but I've gotten close like a half dozen times now, but I've never actually vomited.
The only time I really felt like vomiting was when I think I've only been early days of ScrewAttack. The NAD hit was very prominent. The ball hit, the initiation, I guess. And
Are you saying you vomited from being hit in the balls too hard?
I was about to say, I almost did.
Yeah.
Fucking Sean.
Yeah. So here's the thing, like that's kind of where the line was crossed, right? Sean crossed the line and crossed it by about 3 miles.
He went too far. Excited. He wanted to be his first DNA winner. Hey, Chad. Like, boom. Context. We need context here. We need context. Chad, give me context. Okay, so Craig created this stupid ass holiday. It's called Dia de Huevos, which isn't even a way you should say it in Spanish. You should say Los Huevos, De Los Huevos, but Dia de Huevos. Anyway, so he created this stupid holiday because he wanted to have a holiday. And what we have to do is we have to play like Ultimate Party Challenge for the Wii, listen to like early 90s hits like Ace of Base, decorate a cactus.
Sounds pretty awesome, right? I'm just saying.
Decorate a cactus with stickers. And then also, the horrible part of it is if you step on a red dot or touch a red dot, you get hit in the nuts. Right?
I love this holiday.
It's bullshit. Because we've always had a girl in the office, and it's like, what do we do? You know, like, I'm not going to suggest anything because then we go sexual harassment. It's just not fair.
It's not it's a gender-biased holiday. It sucks.
Oh, it really is. It's great.
But
I'm all for gender empowerment, man. I want Lauren to have an upper hand on everybody. Man.
You know what I'm reading.
She's awesome. She wins every year. She wins the holiday. That's all I'm saying. Fair.
I think I won at Ultimate Party Challenge as well. Or I didn't win, but I didn't
won. No, but so Sean's first Dia de Huevos was coming up, and he was all getting excited. Well, no one told him that, like, yeah, okay, we do it, but dude, you're not like trying to, completely crush the other person's genitals. Sean was really excited, and I came into work that day, and Sean was relatively new at the time.
Yep.
And so he called me in for something. So I'm like, oh, Sean probably has a question about something. So I come walking in. He's like, we take a look at this. He'd like set up a trap. Like, so we had a laptop open, and he's like, will you take a look at this? So I walk up, and on the floor was a dot. So I'm like, yeah,
I
what?
saw it coming, I felt really bad.
I mean, like, full on, just bam, it just crushes me.
Yeah, it was straight up Falcon Punch. Yeah.
And he recorded it, so it's on camera.
Like I've never, like Chad does not get mad. Like he gets upset sometimes, but like Chad was like. And like, it was one of those things where Chad just needed to step away. Because I was like, I will fucking kill Sean right now. Because usually it's just like, ha ha ha, boo. Oh, it hurts so bad.
Yeah. Well, you came into the office that day, and I was just like on the floor next to my desk.
Yeah, that's how I knew it was bad, because Craig came in and looked at me and he's like, yeah, okay, so we didn't really explain to you how this is supposed to work. Because I have an employee in the front of the office now that is pretty much going to have to go home sick. Yeah. But luckily, Chad stepped through it.
Freaking grapefruit.
Just so he could get back at me later.
Yeah, I got you back. It was in the little thank you
The little
video.
montage, yeah.
That wasn't
Yeah.
the thing you did.
So that was pretty awesome.
I would like to say though, on that note, Dia de Huevos, that was my first one ever, as well as yours, right?
And mine.
I've been watering that cactus for a year and a half, and it's still alive.
Yes.
The only person that takes care of it, yeah, you know, it's got some flowers and shit. That cactus going ham. You know,
When you actually watch, when you do Screwing Around, where we have that set that has like the Pac-Man and the Mario background? On the shelf. Yeah, on the shelf is the Dia de Huevos cactus, and it's constantly growing and constantly being nurtured by your viewership love.
One day they get too big for that pot.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is it'll like sprout all around it, so it's in this tiny little pot, but it'll get huge. And I think that'll be amazing. And
right, because trying to hold a cactus with like the tiniest little pot is like the best way to do it.
I think it's a plastic pot too, which makes it even better. So whatever. Anyways, so let's talk more about cactuses.
So what's your favorite type of cactus?
What else we got?
Somehow we were talking about vomiting and then we transitioned.
Talk about your vomiting.
Vomiting sandwiches.
Ben knows about vomiting.
I was gonna say, you guys are all talking about vomit stories. You went blind. You're gonna throw up. I did. It was the worst throat. I think my throat was scarred for life after that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Salsa challenge?
yeah, salsa challenge. Okay, that one. I won. I've said this before. No, by default. All right.
Did you, Nick?
So yes.
I don't know about that.
Who's actually seen the salsa challenge video? Better question. Who has not seen the salsa challenge video? Okay, let's set it up. So.
So one day, back when we were in high school, Nick goes, "Hey Ben, I want to challenge you to an eating contest." Okay, and what? Salsa.
I remember you challenging me, and I said, "Bring it." And so,
So the point is, the challenge was thrown down, right? So what better way to compete on than Nick's favorite condiment, salsa, right?
Okay,
Hot sauce.
just FYI, Nick is insane with hot sauce. He'll put
Put on cookies.
I put hot sauce on my burgers, my hot dogs, my sandwiches, spaghetti, pizza. I tried to make SpaghettiOs once. It didn't actually work because of tomato sauce mixed with a weird guy.
me
put it on
being a
whatever.
normal person. I like salsa on my chips. You know, get some good Mexican food. Tacos are good with it. So you know.
So the premise was very simple. We start with the mildest salsa and work our way up to Dave's Insano sauce, right? And
There's a warning label on this Dave's Insanity bottle sauce that says, "Warning, you can actually use this to remove grease stains on your garage floor. Be careful." I'm not even kidding.
like the serving size is like a drop. Like literally, it's just like, boom, and it's very cartoony. Yeah, the mushroom cloud comes up from wherever you go.
It is liquid evil, is what it is.
So we get
Well,
to
this was also like the worst setup ever because we didn't have any water to wash
Yes.
everything down.
so
3 ounces of pink country time lemonade and some whole milk.
just
Not even full cup.
And again, it was just 3 days before lactose intolerant.
yeah. There's so much bad, like such a horrible idea. Such a horrible idea. But so we sit him down. We go to this like local elementary school, and we set him down at this table. And let's see, Jose was there at the time. Corey was there at the time. And Destin was there. And like it was actually Destin's and Corey's first experience at ScrewAttack, and it was a great way to ring them in because so they start like they don't just like dip their chips right, and they're like they literally start shooting it, and it's like whoa, this is gonna be good. And after they get to like the third salsa, like Ben literally starts shaking, like his hands. I was like, and I'm like, whoa, Ben, you probably want to slow down there, buddy. And he's like, no, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. And Nick's just like shooting this stuff like it's nothing.
It's dripping all over my mouth. We're not feeling good.
No, it's horrible. And me, like, I'm trying to keep this thing moving and pouring them 3 ounces of country time lemonade at a time, and they're trying to cool the heat in their mouth. But Nick keeps pushing it, so that makes Ben keep pushing it because Ben doesn't want to lose to him. So eventually, like,
Because the loser was supposed to dress up as Princess Peach
Yes,
at like
at
E3 or
E3.
something. We still haven't done it. SGC next year.
Well,
You know what else we still haven't done really quick? Nick hasn't dressed like a clown yet.
oh,
Because if everybody remembers, whoever lost the March Madness bracket had to dress like a clown at SGC.
Yeah, what the hell?
It was my idea too.
Lauren, did you give anything for that? No? Well, I'll tell you what. Tomorrow at SGC all day, Nick will be dressed as a clown.
I was so excited that nobody was bringing it up. I thought everyone had forgotten. I thought I was off scot-free.
Sucker. All right. So back to the story. They're pounding this crap away, and Ben starts shaking. Ben literally, like, at a certain point, he makes this, like,
Ben gets up, and that's when the most awful noise you have ever heard.
Hang on, we got to the Dave's Insanity sauce.
Yeah.
Got to that. Like, I was fine.
No, you weren't.
Nothing's fun about that.
Then we got the Dave's Insanity sauce, and I knew that was it. That was like the last one. We had to get that Dave's Insanity sauce down. It was either him or me, whoever got down first, right? So I decided to take a little bit more than I think any living person could handle. Because, you know, Nick is over there just sipping it really slowly, which is smart, and I kind of chug a gulp. And
It was like a teaspoon.
yeah, right, you're not supposed to have more than a drop, right? Yeah, I had like a teaspoon, so...
He stands up and like, so I edited that video, and I did like the video, and I kind of scripted it out and such. But when I saw him stand up, the first like in the video, the theme to Meridia from Super Metroid hits. It's like this soft, like soothing, like oh shit, or like, and I thought that was so perfect for that because he stood up and you could just see Ben's face go from like he's like ah rah rah, and it hits him and he's just like.
And then suddenly mass chaos.
Yeah, like in a span of like 10 seconds, Ben makes this sound. It's like,
Dude, that sound is one of the most horrifying things I've ever heard in my life.
In the history of recorded audio, not once has any sound more horrifying been heard than what came out of Ben's mouth.
The other day,
Yeah.
it was like a year ago or something like that. I don't remember. Ben was like saying something. He was like, oh, something with my eye. And you go, pow! Like you do like one of them, you know, and I'm just like, oh shit.
Once or twice a year, he'll make the noise
I
again.
still have the scars in my throat somewhere after all that.
like that day, Ben's cough changed. Like, Ben's cough changed and ScrewAttack changed.
And see, like, what to add on to the story though, this was done like on a Friday or Saturday or something like that, and we were in high school at the time. And, you know, we didn't hear from Ben on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Monday comes around, he's not in class. Tuesday comes around, he's still not there.
Yeah.
We're getting very scared. And it turns out, and then he's just like there the next day. Like, dude, we tried to call you. Yeah. You did? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more to the story of the mass chaos that was happening. I had worn long sleeves that day. And at some point, I got salsa on my sleeves. So while I'm hunched over hacking up, I wipe my forehead. And the salsa gets on my forehead and drips down into my eyes. So I am not only hacking up, I'm also blinded.
Yeah.
And we do not have any water to wash my eyes out.
So literally, my stupid.
Jose had to carry that off.
I look around and I'm like, where's the closest water? I'm looking for like hoses, like just a spigot that we can just drench his shirt in. And I see this fountain, there's like this bird fountain across the street of this guy's house. And I'm like, running, I'm taking off my shirt, throwing it in there, and just bring it over to Ben.
That's what
Yeah.
part of this story.
Really?
First time I
It's a dirty bird fountain. A dirty bird fountain.
Outside of your eyes,
It was in my eyes then. All right.
That was
Well,
a
at
good
least I
deal.
can see.
That was fun.
Yeah, and then
Who carried
and then
you?
Jose carried me
Yeah, Jose.
to Destin's car, and Destin became my emergency escape vehicle to a Walmart to find some water, and almost ran over this poor old lady and her little grandson were just walking across the parking lot when we were getting there. He's like blaring the horn, get out of the fucking way! Salsa! Salsa! And he's driving down the street.
It's like that shot of Jose just running, carrying poor, just dying Ben. Beautiful, tender shot.
Freaking Nick is just sitting over there on some swing set, grinning like a cheetah. After he
Well, what just happened, everyone?
Anyway, so
Something Nick touched me?
well, so that was a fun day. That was definitely the day that I learned that things can go wrong at work, and someone could possibly die from doing crazy things. So that was definitely like the
So we kept doing food challenges.
But eating challenges are different, so you throw up a little bit. You may get him in that.
You described that though as the day ScrewAttack almost ended.
Yeah, like really, like well, it did because if like Ben dies,
How do you live down when you killed an employee?
Yeah,
With salsa.
Doing eating challenge. I don't think we're ever going to do a salsa challenge again. But I don't think we dare anybody to do it ever because it is dangerous, obviously.
Well, we went
I'm
from
up
one
front.
end of the spectrum to the other with like blazing hot salsa to freezing cold ice cream. And you think maybe we should just find something in the middle because like the two of us for half an hour after the ice cream, we're laying out in the, you guys have felt that Texas sun.
Wait, we can go to both extremes and have like a poorly cooked Hot Pocket. So it's like
I love that.
please.
I love that. You start, she's like, oh God, it hurts so bad. And he's like, oh, the middle sucks.
Did you throw down? Are you throwing down?
You want to come at me?
You throwing out the challenge?
You want a Hot Pocket?
I'll
Yeah,
eat
girl.
so many hot pockets.
Oh shit. When do you want to do it?
SGC! Do it!
We have a really shitty microwave.
it's like what is the idea of like just who can eat the most or what?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fine.
Do we give you like an hour time limit? See, this is the negotiation period right here. So do we give you like an hour to eat as much as you can, or do we give you like a dozen Hot Pockets and whoever finishes it first?
Finish first.
Frozen, like, see, but nobody can eat a frozen Hot Pocket.
Well,
like,
we actually have to think about that just because like it's gonna be hard, like because what Hot Pocket probably takes Judd 2 minutes to cook. I know we can kill our first couple Hot Pockets in 2 minutes. Like we'll just be sitting there waiting. So we'll have to get like a large convection oven, or cook them by like I don't know.
well, this is coming soon. Breaking news. So I like the idea. That's a good idea. Just put them in the fridge. Don't even cook them. Don't even cook them. Just thaw them. Just thaw them out.
Yeah, we'll thaw them
Just
out.
thaw them. Don't even cook them.
No, we're not eating them, Taki. We'll just thaw out.
Like cheese
Oh, I
cubes.
hear ya.
What kind of hot
Yum, yum.
But on that note,
Welcome to the ScrewAttack Hot Pockets panel.
Hot pockets.
Vomit, salsa,
Lauren and I do this though because we both have an immense amount of admiration for one another and especially food. We were up early this morning and we were talking about like what we've really enjoyed about SGC so far, and we're like, oh man, we've got to eat, like, you know, meeting community members has been freaking awesome. Like I get to put so many faces to names at these kind of things. It's great. I mean,
With that pulled pork
yeah,
sandwich.
and then like our eyes connect and we're like, but that pulled pork sandwich. Now that was a sandwich, and seriously, you could get them out there. Oh my god, that shit! I saw some kids eating it earlier. They were like, I was like, that's a good sandwich, right? He was like, oh my god.
I woke up this morning and my first question was, are we still doing the snacks and stuff? And they said, yeah. I was like, is it the same menu? Can I still get that sandwich again? Because my priorities are in the right place naturally.
Yeah, so pretty much as great as everything is, like SGC for me is just like, oh, we get pulled pork sandwich. Like next year, I'm gonna be like, pulled pork sandwich gonna be there? That's my big question. It's like, what kind of guests we get? We got pulled pork sandwich as our panelists. Fuck yeah!
They're available out there, just so you know. You can get them. It's actually a pretty big sandwich, and I had it. It's pretty dang good too.
I'm always hungry, so it's not really a shame.
All right.
You can go from being full to hungry, hungry all day, every day.
So we're about 20-something minutes in. So how about we talk about like some of the stuff that we have coming up, then we'll show off the video we have, and then we can do some Q&A. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So a few things we have coming up. At ScrewAttack, everyone, hopefully you know we've kind of launched a games division at ScrewAttack. It's called ScrewAttack Games, and we're actually serving as publishers for indie developers. We're actually publishing the Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures game, which hopefully, who's played that in here? Cool. Yeah, you can play it down in the indie heaven. Have you guys enjoyed it? Has it been great? Cool. Yeah. Yeah, it is hard, very hard. It's very much an old school game in that if you know the idea is that. So many games nowadays, you play for 6 hours and you win because you played it for 6 hours, and you're like escorts you through the game. Like, I want this game to be like what happened last night with Mike Tyson's Punch Out, to where when you beat it, you feel accomplished. You're like, I did something with my life. I beat AVGN Adventures. So, and you will by the time it's done. So, really excited about that. And we're not going to stop there because we're going to be like, I really want to make ScrewAttack games a big part of ScrewAttack, and so like indie developers and such. I mean, by all means, feel free to approach me with your ideas and such. I mean, we'd love to help make them possible. You know, especially moving into 2014, I'd love to do 3, 4, 5 games next year, and really make ScrewAttack games a big part of the indie gaming landscape for sure. Because I mean, I think it's awesome. It's exciting for us, and I think AVG Adventures is an awesome jumping off point. So
one thing I've heard though, like from telling people about ScrewAttack games, and I think it is a positive characteristic about it, is because all of them come through us. Like we don't settle for anything. But like with making the AVG game, we've played so many alpha things, and it's like we are a staff. Unlike a lot of people are like, okay, let's get the game out. And you see the studios and stuff. For us, it's like let's just do what we can to make this as good as possible, no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, we have such a good screen of critical thinking people when it comes to video games that it's just like, you know, it's helped a lot so far.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, you're right. You're right in that we're so critical of our own stuff, and like we're not like some crazy PR company or you know, like we have a vested interest in making this awesome. And especially with AVG Adventures, we know that it's like our first chance to do our real like console Steam game. And it's got to be awesome. And we also know it's the first chance that the nerd has released a real official game. He's had fan games made for him, but this is like the official nerd game. So we got to make this awesome. And we're setting the bar high for everything we do. So yeah, I mean that's definitely going to be a big part of things moving forward. So I just want to hit on that really quick. Another thing that's coming up later this year, we are going to be launching. For the first time ever, a second channel at ScrewAttack. We're going to be launching on YouTube a channel based around gameplay and such, and you know, commentaries and things like that. It seems like it's a pretty fun thing to do for a lot of people. So we're like, hey, let's do this thing because we have all these games, we have the knowledge of games. So let's play them and have some fun, and you know, like you'll get some like Wiz and Boomstick may do some every once in a while. Death Battle, you get some crossover stuff like that, and. The biggest thing is, it's going to be cool. It's going to be called Mega Buster. So, hence the time. Yeah, it's kind of like screwing around with friends, I guess. So, a lot of people were like, when we took screwing around and it went from like every day to once a week, people were like, oh, well, this is a good opportunity for you to screw around constantly. So, yeah.
It doesn't have screw in the name, so that's always really helpful.
Yeah, yeah. You'd be surprised that, like, we talked about that yesterday, like, SGC is now, like, just technically SGC. It's not, like, ScrewAttack Gaming Convention, because we found that parents were very scared of the name ScrewAttack and taking their kids to a convention with screw in the title. So.
It can happen at any time.
Just out of nowhere in the corner.
Some guy just leaps out.
Awesome. So,
No.
Just leave it there. Just leave it. Just like, yeah, go.
all right. So that's a couple things we have on the horizon. There's some other things that we can't talk about yet, but all good things for sure. So I'll tell you what. Let's we're gonna run this video game ball, which Nick put together. What's the game?
Life and Death for DOS. It's a surgery simulator. So, in my hands, you know.
Has anybody played Life and Death for DOS?
Dr. Robotnik has played Life and Death for DOS.
So we have like literally 6 people in this entire room who are going to get this game. That's good, Nick. Good choice. All right. So I'll tell you what. If you like to, I'm sorry, Destin.
That's okay. That's the beauty of the vault, man.
It exposes people. Yes.
Yeah, maybe we'll share Destin experience.
No. Destin's here though.
Is he in this room?
Destin, you here, buddy?
Hi, Destin.
Hey, Destin. Everyone stand up. Give Destin, say hi to everybody. No, stand up. Stand your ass up, Destin. Destin, obviously, if you don't know, Destin worked at ScrewAttack for 2 years? 3 years? Yeah, long time, and he was a big part of getting Hard News up and going. He was the first host of Hard News. Now he works at IGN. And yeah, congratulations to him. It's awesome. So, is Jose here too? Meh. Where's Jose? Jose's back there. Yeah, so Jose's back there too. Look, we got the ScrewAttack reunion panel tomorrow, so you can come see those guys. I think it's going to be Destin and Corey's here.
Yeah, it's Destin, Jose, Corey, Jared, and Ryan Stout.
So you can catch up to see what everyone's doing nowadays, and I'm sure they'll have plenty of stories. Yeah, but
Didn't mean to derail it.
way to go. You derailed me, great. So if you, we'll do Q&A after this, so while this is going, if you'd like to do Q&A, let's try to keep the center area clear right here, because we have the microphone. So if you'd like to ask a question, you can hop in line for the microphone, and but when we're done, we can, let's scoot you off over here to the side. You can scoot up wherever you like, my man. Would you mind moving that mic? Cool. So let's go run that video, and if you'd like to have a question, by all means, let's hop in line.
From the makers of Mario's Time Machine comes DOS Surgery Sim, Life and Death, with the most unnecessarily morbid title screen ever. Oh, he's a zombie! Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it! So it's my first day on the job, and directly across the hall from the room where people get cut open is the classroom where we learn how to cut people open. I didn't really pay attention, but that's alright because I've always learned better by doing than listening. Speaking of which, my first patient. Hello, Mr. Clinton. How are you feeling today? Not well? Well then, we'll just have to amputate. I'm fired up. No, just go back to class? Really? Alright. See, this is how you know you're not playing an educational game, because learning is your punishment. For Toolworks General Hospital, the day Dr. Nick graced their halls was the worst day of their lives. Me, it was Tuesday. I don't know what any of this stuff is. We should probably inject the patient with eeny, meeny, miny, L, and just kind of see what happens. Right. This hospital makes no sense. I should be fired. I should be sued. I should be punished in some form or fashion for all the mistakes I've made, like the time I forgot to put the patient under anesthesia before making the scar-treating incision on the stomach. And worse than that, I have taken dozens, literally dozens of lives, one of whom was Fonzie. I repeat, I have killed the Fonz, and I still have a job. So you know what, man? You know what? Just leave. I'm referring you to another doctor. Just get out of my office. Truly, this is a sign. Clearly, I am not meant to be a lower right abdomen surgeon. And if I'm honest with myself, I don't think I should even be working at this hospital at all. So that's it. I'm done. I'm quitting. I am moving on to greener pastures. I think I'll apply my talents to something easier, like the human brain.
I'd like to give a quick shout out to Parker. Is he in this room right now? Parker?
No, he's working.
Okay. Well, Parker's one of our newer employees, and he actually edited that together. So if you see him, I know he's kind of new. You might not know his face, but if you do recognize him, let him know you enjoyed the video. So.
Yeah, he's a tiny boy.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah, he's at my merch booth. I have him as a slave right now. So.
Yeah, you know, that is something to hit on really quick. We do have a number of new faces, actually, at ScrewAttack that you don't get to see on a day-to-day basis. They're pretty much behind-the-scenes guys, because it's pretty cool that we've reached that point to where not everybody we have is actually on camera all the time. But you'll see him occasionally, and I think Parker had his head rammed against a keyboard in a video, which was fun.
The DuckTales thing, when we were freaking out over DuckTales, but actual reactions.
Parker and John and a few new interns and such. So.
John, I actually would like to give a shout out as well, because right now he's either getting himself fired or picking up our Mario Party shirts for tonight. So, yeah. You know Mario Party shirts. We will have them. Hopefully here in about 45 minutes, once we're done with the panel, we should have those shirts. They'll be on sale for $10. You can get them at the merch booth, or it'll be in the line. Whatever we have left after today will be in the line for After Dark tonight.
Cool. It'd be awesome. We'll just section off like all the things for Mario Party. So we're gonna have the 4 sections.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be crazy.
All right, awesome.
Neutral? Yoshi! I guess Yoshi!
You know, I think I speak for these guys when I say neutral is the 4th. If you can't pick one of the 3 regulars, then you're going with the 4th.
Team swag.
The fourth person has not been announced yet, just so you know. We have the three regulars, and the fourth is a mystery competitor. So make sure you're there tonight for that.
Actually, do we want to announce it now, or are we gonna wait until do we want to do it like on the fly at the thing? Or do we want to just take our time?
Ask them.
Well, I know what they're gonna say.
That was me softball right there.
I'm trying to gauge Sam's reaction here. If he's like, stop talking or tell him.
Dude, I mean, we
We can
could.
do whatever we want tonight. Let's just announce it.
I'll tell you what. Hey, hold on. How about this?
You have to go ahead and type it in.
Do you guys want to announce it now? Don't say who it is.
Sam's looking like no.
Well, I just don't want to go ahead and make calls without Jerry.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that too.
Well, how about just the team color at least, so people that are going to be in the 4th know what color?
I actually don't even know.
How about? Hey, hold on.
It's neutral.
It's not the neutral color, Sam.
Just wear white.
Secrets and
How is everyone?
Great, Nick.
This is going to be more serious than I thought it would. We're just trying to figure out a reveal.
Start a question.
All right, fine. Let's just do it. Will the person who's competing just stand up for us?
Nobody did.
There we go.
A lot of the older staff that you all love, and it's Mario Party works a lot better after dark when it's somebody that we know and we have a lot of dirt on. And vice versa. So that way, we can dig deeper with the insults. So yes, Destin will be joining us tonight.
Destin was wearing blue, so how about his team color blue? That makes sense, right?
You okay with it, Destin? Blue.
All right, let's do some Q&A.
Okay, hi, it's me again, Mikhail Koffer of Non-Pro Institute. Some of you guys, we met before yesterday. I want to say that on your top 10 worst water levels, I think your choice of Hydro City is BS. Mostly because I've been playing Sonic the Hedgehog for a long time, ever since the first game. I can say the worst Sonic level that is water themed is a Labyrinth Jump.
Nick, what do you think? Someone doesn't agree with our top 10. What?
Well, Ben, what do you think? You go Sonic.
Real quick, just for the record, you're wrong. And if anybody questions any of our top, I think it's well established that our top 10s are the correct. Always, 100%. Everyone else is wrong. So with that said, it's true. So yes, Ben actually contributed to that. Ben, you were one of the main people behind that. So Ben, how about you give your reasoning?
That's more of a personal choice, just because that's the one even though that has like a water shield and all that, that's that it just goes on forever and ever and ever. And if you lose that bubble shield, the whole level's based around it. So you're freaking screwed. But Labyrinth sucks too. So
To me, the Labyrinth is much more difficult because at the final boss, the boss at the end of the level, you have to go up with all those spikes, all those spears, and traps while the wires keep on rising, and then you have to keep up to the boss, and you have to keep up, and then eventually, it's very freaking
it's
difficult.
kind of chaotic and hectic, but
They definitely both have their merits.
Yeah, cool. All right, thanks, man.
Thanks, appreciate it. All right, cards. Thanks. All right.
I have 2 questions. First one goes to Craig. What is your favorite moment when you were in Slam Ball?
All right. All right, so Slam Ball was cool. For those of you who don't know, I back in the early aughts, 2003, I I played a sport called slam ball, which involves, it's full contact basketball with trampolines in the court. And it's pretty much like NBA Jam in real life. It was on TV, it was on Spike TV, and it was freaking amazing. I have so many stories from slam ball, it's crazy. And I can tell you, the most memorable one is one that was actually on TV. There was a dude, the thing when you're up in the air so high and you're jumping, you're 10, 15 feet in the air, you're taught when you're up in the air to focus in on something that is far away, right? And so you have a point of reference every single time and not look down, okay? Because if you look down, you're gonna screw yourself up. Turn off the phone. Is that us? No, okay. Well, I keep hearing the phone, sorry. Ruska! So you're supposed to like focus in on something, right? And when you go up and down, you have a point of reference, not to look down. And this was during like the training period, right, where people are still learning how to jump. Like I was fortunate because I actually got on a trampoline going in there and I felt really comfortable in the air, but some people did not. There's one guy named Tom Lizak or something, I don't remember, but Tom was like 5'11". He was not meant to play slam ball, right? He was meant to work at a desk job or something, you know? He was not an athlete, right? So he had a hard time adapting to being up in the air. So he went up in the air and he drifted a little bit forward and he looked down, right? The problem with that is that when he drifted a little bit, he varied his weight to where when you jump up, you jump, these are your feet, okay? You jump and you come back down. He moved a little bit, he shifted and his weight shifted, so he came down like this. Both his feet did not hit at the same time. So his foot went from here to there. Right?
This is your favorite though?
Yes. Did you ask favorite or memorable? Memorable. Okay, this is memorable. I'll give you favorite in a minute. But memorable did. I mean, his ankle straight off, held on by skin and sock. It was like that brutal injury you saw, like if you guys watched the NCAA tournament where the guy like totally jacked up his leg, it was like that. I mean, the blood was like flowing out and like, it was disgusting. That's my most memorable moment. He was literally walking like 3 months later. It was amazing, full recovery and stuff. My favorite memory was, there was a guy named George Bird who was big dude. I'm talking like 6'8", probably 280, 90 pounds. And he was a truck. And he was known for like leveling people. This is full contact. As soon as you put the ball on the floor, you could get hit. And yeah, like hockey checks, exactly. It was pretty cool. So, and the whole thing's surrounded by plexiglass, so you can bounce the ball off the wall and such. So one of this team was called the Riders, and one of their plays was they would go down the court, and then he played like the stopper, which is like the goalie. And the stopper was usually the biggest player on the court for that team. So he would come trucking down the wing and then jump into the trampolines. Like who's gonna stand in the way of like a 6'8", 280-pound guy just running at full speed with a ball? So they go down, they filter it back to him. He's running down the right side of the court. He kind of fumbles the ball, and at the time I'm 6'3", maybe 215, right? But he kind of fumbles the ball, and I'm like, oh. So I wasn't a physical guy by any means, but I went in and I just like laid him out, and it was like, that was pretty wicked. That was cool, just knowing I took out like the biggest guy in the court, and he fell down, and like, yeah, he grabbed the ball and he pulled it, and he nearly like dislocated my arm, but it was awesome. It was really great. So like dunking the ball was really fun. It was like, there's nothing better than looking down on top of like to the top of the glass of the backboard when you're up in the air. But the hit was probably my favorite moment. You can actually find it in the highlight reel. I think that's online. So yeah.
My last question goes to Chad. How many times did you get the question, do you ship internationally?
Way too many. And that's why still to this day, if you go to ScrewAttackStore.com, the little tagline at the top of your browser says, yes, we ship internationally. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
But now it's Sam's problem.
I still get emails literally every single day. No matter what day, no matter what holiday, they're still asking if we ship international. We do. Okay?
Everywhere.
What's up, guys?
see you.
Connor Nolan, G1 Red Sea. Huge fan of you guys, love you all. Anyway, I wanted to know what you guys would say is your sweetest moment that you've had at ScrewAttack, whether it be a fan that's just so appreciative of you guys that they, tell you the most like heartwarming story, or like a little kid that is so appreciative of, classic games or something like that.
I think we can all agree that it's Zach.
We've been really blessed, like, working in office on a day-to-day basis, like, especially online, you see numbers, like view counts and stuff, but you don't really equate it until you actually have an opportunity to come to SGC or come to events and shake people's hands. And when, I know when we reached out about Hardcore Zach, which, I don't know, does one of you guys want to tell a story about that? I think just the long and short of it was, we were his wish. Like his make-a-wish to come and work at ScrewAttack, and that was like, wow, awesome. That's like the most humbling experience in the world, because to us, like, I mean, we work hard, and we know we work hard for you guys, but it felt like such a privilege to feel like we made such an impact on Zach's life. I think that was definitely the biggest thing, and we've, yeah, we received gifts and stuff, and those are all amazing, but knowing that if he had one thing that he wanted to do, it was to be a part of our crew. Like, that was like I'm kind of like, right now, so it's pretty awesome.
Sorry about that. I've got a personal one, just really quickly. It happened actually at E3 this past week. I was on the way to the media room, and this guy named Cameron stops me and says, "Hey, I love your videos and stuff," and it tells me that, is this you?
Yes, sir.
Well, hold on, you're the Cameron I met at E3?
Which Cameron?
Okay, well, I can't remember the last one off the top of my head, but this guy, it's fine. This guy was like, I was in South Korea, I think it was South Korea, one of the Asian countries teaching English as a second language, and he used top 10 scariest retro enemies is what it was. He used that to help teach English, and that was super cool for me. And he said, I think I told you this, Craig, he said that he couldn't use any of yours because yours has swearing in them. So I guess he didn't want to teach them the bad words.
I don't filter myself, Nick. I don't get filtered. It's all raw on the top 10s that I'm in it.
I've actually gotten a couple emails from professors at universities saying that they use Death Battle to teach essay writing, which is amazing every time I hear that. I mean, it's freaking Death Battle all night.
It was funny because there was this professor, I love the way he sent this email, because he was like, so I'm teaching, I think it was like argumentative writing or something like that, and he's like, yeah, I had this student that kept telling me that I need to watch this internet show that he likes because it has all the principles I'm trying to teach him. And he's like, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna look it up, but I know it's not what he's talking about. And he's like, he told us straight up, he's like, had no interest in like, he figured we weren't gonna do a good job. And then he watched it, and he was like, oh my God, this is awesome. So then he like asked if we could send him scripts so he can actually use these as examples to get like the kids into learning how to write and stuff like that. And so yeah, we sent him some scripts and stuff. So Death Battle's being taught now.
We only have 10 minutes, so we're going to rapid fire the questions. So.
Yeah, most craziest thing of knowing when you touch someone was doing Sean's news panel this morning, and there was a G1's mom in there who said, how much of an impact being a part of the G1 community had on his life, and she mentioned specifically his grammar, so she was prepped for his writing, but having a parent come up and say, you have touched my child's life in such a way was a super humbling thing to happen.
Mine is very personal. When I first started working at ScrewAttack, my dad had an emergency illness and I had to leave for a few weeks, and we didn't really share too much with the community. But there was such a huge outpouring, like people wrote articles and we were constantly getting support that it was crazy to have just joined this crew and this family, and then to have you guys, the community members, just reaching out to us, and my family felt it and my dad felt it, and it was really surreal, and we were really grateful for that. And I haven't had a chance to have a whole crowd of you guys and say thank you, but it was amazing.
just a little lighter note. Yesterday, G1 brought us a box of beer and chocolate, and I mean, I embraced him so strongly. It was beautiful.
Very crazy duck, wherever you are. Thank you. Yeah, there he is. Chocolate and beer. You guys have a party on me. All right.
All right, so like I said, we only have like 10 minutes, and we're trying to keep everything on lightning round. So we're gonna lightning round this, okay?
Okay, I'll make this quick.
Yeah.
I represent the G1 community for 5 seconds because I got to talk to some of you guys at the writing thing, whatever it was called. Autograph panel. But you weren't there because you were busy, I understand.
Sorry.
I was failing health James Raw dressed as Cammy Kapura Kapura. I did that solely to make you eat your words. Now, can you sign my shirt?
Of course.
Okay, over your experience of just seeing SGC grow, what would you say is your most remarkable milestone? It's particularly weird, particularly touching, or just particularly
yesterday's opening ceremony.
Yeah, yesterday's opening ceremonies, knowing like his, we showed up, we saw this hotel lots of months before, and I was like, oh man, it's gonna be hard to fill these panel rooms. And then it filled instantly, and there were more people waiting to come in. That was like,
yeah, we need more space.
Dude,
like,
are we moving already?
Well, I think I don't know, next year we'll need to open up both these for main stages for sure. Wow. For sure. Yeah.
Who was one of the craziest moments of SGC? Who was here for Sonic 4 reveal? Yeah. Everyone who was in that room can tell you that was one of the most crazy things ever. That spin noise happened, and then like literally the room just lost their minds. Like you could feel it. Like the room like shook. You could feel it. Like hairs were standing up. You could literally feel like the energy in that room. It was insane. And we're gonna top it tomorrow.
Just for the record with that, tomorrow at 1 is the Iron Man finale.
be there.
Yeah, look, here's the thing. I don't care about fire code tomorrow. This room better be packed, and it better be standing like.
I'm stressed out a little bit more.
We got Mr. Robotnik.
One of the most memorable videos I've seen in a few years was the Super Smash Bros. Brawl launch line, where this guy interferes and goes out of his way to call the police on you.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, have you ever heard from him again?
No.
Or seen him?
Funny story about that. So the salsa challenge was Dustin and Corey's first experience. That was Nick and Ben's first experience.
Oh, it wasn't. I had already been there for over a year.
Oh, yeah,
it was Nick's.
that was Nick's first experience, yes.
I was running camera, and I knew I had landed a good job when that happened first thing.
I didn't even work there then, but I worked at the Game Exchange and I gave him that copy of Brawl.
But yeah, we haven't even heard from him. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Long-time fan of the site. So I've seen in the past we had Stuttering Craig, Nervous Nick, and to an extent Super Chad. And I was just wondering what happened to the nicknames. I really enjoyed them back in the day.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you know, it's when we started, it was like, hey, we need to kind of be a little different, right? We need to have individual names and such. And you know, when we've kind of gone through different iterations of the site to where it was like we've added news and such. So like, if you were to see an article on a site, like it was like crazy Sean Hines, like writing news, you know, it wouldn't. I don't know. Yeah. Then from the news side, it kind of loses a little bit.
It would have lost some legitimacy. Now so we decided to go with kind of a mix. Like Stuttering Craig and Nervous Nick, they still have the nicknames in top 10s, you know, but you know, we don't necessarily have nicknames in Death Battle, for example, because we have our own characters, and on the news site, we don't have the nicknames because of legitimacy, that kind of thing. So they're still there. It's just on a segment. ScrewAttack has just grown so much bigger since then.
On my part, nobody's gonna buy shirts from Sneaky Sam.
Swag Sam or something.
Still seems weird. You might get, you know, I might be sending jewels with my shirts or something. I don't know.
We have to, please.
Cat lady.
Yeah, but it's nice.
Olivia here.
Like, out of curiosity, did any videos that you put on the website were like surprise hits? And then on the other side of that, were there anything that you expected to be bigger but just didn't like fill up to what you thought it would be?
I know one that didn't do as well as we thought was the Q music video.
I knew you were gonna say
That got a run.
That was the yeah.
For that to be the way that the clip came back, like that was not the video that should have launched the new clip. That should have been something further down the line.
Yeah, just the total destruction of the clip. We put a lot of time into that, and it fell flat on its face. Video. Well, it did. Don't be like, oh yeah, sorry, dude. I'm just being honest. One video that I thought would do a whole lot better is the one we recently did with science.
Oh, the sodas?
The soda drink. Because I like it was such a silly premise. Like, how much soda do you actually get out of a cup, right? And when you go get a soft drink and at a restaurant, and I think everybody wants to know what the best value is, and it did okay, but it didn't do super high. So, well, thank you. That makes one of you. I don't know about surprise hits.
You know, I honestly thought that E3 overtime where I was a masturbating hobo would just like take off, but apparently people don't like it.
Well, and they're all idiots, because every time I watch this video, I nearly shit my pants. I'm completely serious about this. You can ask anybody in the office. I don't know why, but I can't stop laughing.
Well, for personal surprise hit, I was really shocked when Death Battle Kuga vs. Koopa reached 1 million hits on YouTube. That shocked me.
Yeah, we were just like, this will be fun, whatever. And then that was like our #1 death battle forever. So that was crazy.
It still is, isn't it? It's approaching like 9 million.
Mario Sonic's at over 9 million right now.
Over 9 million! Alright, cool. Thanks,
The
man.
Urban
Appreciate
Bird
it. Thanks a
video,
lot.
I didn't think anyone was going to give a crap.
One-year anniversary Thursday.
All right. Thanks.
Tom knows everything. Like, he's our lifesaver. Like, I'm like, oh crap, we don't have this video. And I'm like, Tom, you got it? He's like, yeah, I got it. Here you go.
It's Tom storage. Tom storage, and we have Tom
Yeah, we have Tom storage. It's beautiful.
Awesome. All right, we got to keep rapid firing. Thanks, man.
Hey, G1 Techno Force here.
I know you gave Chad a pair of those sunglasses, right?
Yes. Hook me up with
If you ever find another pair, dude, I'm telling you, especially purple pair.
I can send you. And I do have a purple pair at home. I was just wondering if we could see Lauren dance again. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that, because Lauren was actually talking about doing some ribbon dancing, some rhythmic dancing, leading into this. It's really funny you mention that. So, Lauren, if you want to, I mean, I did not cue this. There you go.
Alright, I just have a...
I like your jump shot.
Thank you. I just have a quick question for everyone just like down the line. I was wondering, when you guys were kids, what you wanted to be when you grew up.
Fire away.
I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle.
I got this. This one's video game related. When I was a kid, I was really big on Final Fantasy. I wanted to be a chemist because in my mind, chemists from Final Fantasy Tactics shot people with guns and threw potions, and that's freaking sweet. The reality of being a chemist has nothing to do with guns. It turns out, terrible. Don't want to be one anymore.
I wanted to be Ryu in Street Fighter. Like, really. I mean, he stands there and he's like, ugh. Like when he wins, that's so cool. I drew him so many times growing up.
No one had a real goal?
I actually had a real goal. I wanted to be in the NBA, and I played a lot of basketball when I was a lot younger, and then and then I decided to be a filmmaker at the age of
You go to the Muncie Bugs, dude. Yeah, like what position did you play, Ben?
I was a guard.
Okay, yeah.
I was a guard.
Yeah. Can you still dribble a basketball?
Yes, I'll take you on, even though I'm like a first.
Who wants to see a one-on-one game between me and Ben? I would take you to town, sir. I love it.
Handshake on it, on the upper end of the table.
Well, I remember back in middle school coming up with names for game development studios with my friends. So with ScrewAttack Games, I guess I'm kind of actually doing what I wanted to as a kid. So, yeah.
I kind of always wanted to be a musician, honestly.
I was probably going for like pro skater for a while, but then and then I made the mistake of like getting too caught up with life and other things, and then I stopped. If you're like, you're gonna do that, never stop skating, because when you're getting hurt like all the time, you don't care about it anymore. But when you stop for a while, you're like, man, it's really nice not getting hurt. So then cause I had like no fear. Sam and I would do stupid shit. But
yeah, we talked about this the other day, how it's like you can go on and like we used to take huge falls, like, cause I mean we did this every day, no matter what, rain, snow, and shit. And like I remember seeing Chad like literally like, and it's like in skate parks especially, everything's measured. You know when you fall off an 8-foot half pipe because it's 8 feet. So and like seeing Chad like fall off an 8-foot half pipe onto a fence and just like smash his ribs, and he's like, oh god, I think I got a couple more hours in me, guys. And now it's like, oh god, I hit my shin, oh my god.
Lauren, how many cats do you want?
Oh, I hate you so much sometimes. I actually totally did not realize what I wanted to be as a kid until recently. I was going through some of my old like papers from kindergarten and stuff that my mom had saved. Didn't remember this. I had written down for an assignment when I was like 6. I want to be a lawyer because I like to argue.
G1 Bobblehead 13 here. My question is directed to Craig. I saw you at the GT Film Festival in Hollywood, and we talked a bit, and I was saying, what's new for ScrewAttack? And you said specifically something along the lines of a mobile app or a mobile site.
Yeah.
How's that coming along?
Yeah, we that's something that's on our docket this year. We need to get that done, and we pretty much put the budget of that into all the new features for our community. All the new blogging software. We reworked Advantage and all that stuff. And so, all right.
How did nobody tell me about this?
But yeah, that's something we definitely want to get done, and it's long overdue for the mobile side of ScrewAttack. We need to get one done. We're totally aware, and yeah, we stopped production on it to work on some other stuff, and it's just allocating crap all over the place. So yeah, but we know it's like half our on YouTube at least, like half our traffic is mobile. So that's the way the internet's going. That's the way we got to go. So, all right, thanks for the update. Yeah, we realize our site's like right now crashes like iPads and stuff, and sorry.
What's up, guys? This won't be fast. G1 double T, you know me. This question is for Craig specifically. Craig, how long did it take for your faces to heal when I paid to have Sam slap you on camera?
Oh, man. You got your money's worth. I promise you that.
Yeah, that's one of Sam's favorite moments.
No joke. I'm not kidding about this, Sam. I don't even know if you know this or not. My jaw is actually off kilter. I'm literally to this day.
I posted my weight into it. Like it was funny. He came in like the next day, and his face like it was still hand mark. I was like, yeah. And I know I boxed his ear really good too. So
I'm literally going to a chiropractor to have them adjust my jaw. I'm not kidding about that. So thanks a lot. We got we're over right now. We got 2 minutes. Let's fly through.
Hail and well met, ScrewAttack. Who is the most likely to throw a controller or blow up? And do you have any instances of such happenings?
I love you.
Chad gets pretty mad if he starts losing. Yeah.
Not anymore. I used to though. Like, so he says, no, I've been way better. But,
it's a thing. If it's something he has to work on, it's a thing.
What? Yeah. Which I'm good now. No, we're good. Fighters are FPS, man. Like, and I never get pissed off like at losing anything like that. I get pissed off at myself for screwing up.
Or
like,
lag.
I hate when like I mean to do something and then I screw that up and it would have countered what the other person was doing, and that's just like I'm like, damn it, where's my time travel?
Let's keep flying. Let's keep going. All right. Rapid fire.
I just wanted to say, thank everybody, for ScrewAttack, for SGC.
Thank you.
I flew out here from Las Vegas, and I can honestly say that this has been the most fun time of my life.
Thank you for making the trip.
Thank you so much for coming, man. Awesome trip.
G1 Ivan 2294. I'm kind of. It seems like a lot of you guys actually knew each other before. Like all of you were all on ScrewAttack together. So I'm kind of curious. Are there any interesting stories of when you guys first met? Like
he was my landlord. Not even joking.
Chad and I met competing. Actually, we were rivals for the first while we knew each other because we were obviously the people that were going to get. Both of us, we're going to be first and second. It's just who's first and who's second. So yeah. I won the next time.
Actually,
Okay, my question is, what happened to Drake? He made a post that said he's no longer a ScrewAttack, and even I saw Sam not even knowing.
Yeah, who wants to take this one?
Oh, I got it.
It's pretty much it. Okay, yeah, Chad's got it.
Yeah, he had got a different job offer and he was going to do that, and then he had moved, and then that job fell through. But the past what?
That brings up to the other thing that I wanted to bring up. I totally spaced on this, and it was one of the things that was on the back of my mind.
Well, let me finish this really quick.
Yeah, finish this.
Everything's totally good. He was just the last few months, he'd been driving a long distance just to do side scrollers for us. So he was doing that to help us out until Parker could take over side scrollers.
Yeah, in reality, too, we are still kind of working with him on a side project that I don't really have time to talk about. But nonetheless, we're still working with him. It's just he's not doing side scrollers in his official sense anymore, but he's still around and about, and we're still having contact. It's just, he can't afford to drive all the way down just to do side scores, and that's it's just convenient for him is what it was.
Speaking of that, so one thing that we I didn't mention earlier that we are going to be rolling out later this year is a much more advanced partner program and that Drake will tentatively be a part of with the show he's working on. So it'll help content producers monetize both on ScrewAttack and on YouTube. So it's going to be a good thing. So yeah, so you haven't seen the last of Drake.
Hey, Chad. You and me, third strike. Anyway, my first question is, has Nick broke anything during the setup for SGC?
He just broke his own
face. He broke his face. Nick's been pretty good, yeah. So far.
And my second question is, have you heard of the advantage? No, just kidding. Anyway, my second question is, who has the biggest rivalry in the staff in terms of video games or just overall?
Chad said.
Because there's history there.
Yeah.
There's so much history there for that one.
I mean, that's once again how we met, so obviously we always have been extremely competitive.
And then also the other answer is Craig and everybody, because Craig is the most competitive person I've ever met in my life.
I'm probably the most ruthless too. Like I have no boundaries when it comes to talking smack. Like
NFL Blitz back in the day was the worst.
Yeah,
when you were just like in your element.
I run up the score.
Yeah.
And I make you feel bad about it. It's awesome. Chad's like, it sucks. Everyone's like, they hate me.
I have a question. For scripted videos like the top 10s or Death Battle, who is prone to mess up the most in what they're saying? Like,
oh, me. Yeah, for sure.
There's so many times you giggle or...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In top 10s especially, where it's like Craig and me both, like I'll write down one thing for the script. What we get oftentimes is very different. Like, what was it? There's a top 10 worst, it was something where E.T. was on the list. And I originally had this one thing written, and then Craig, when we were voicing, it's like, no, you know what? Just show a picture of the game. So there's a clip of like a Christmas tree that zooms in, and the present opens out, it's this, da-da, E.T., the Atari game, whatever. I mean, stuff like that. Sometimes we just get entitled.
Yeah, I'm very, very prone to just either not making it through a script or just changing it on the fly, for sure.
Ben's arch nemesis is the first line of Death Battle. Every time. It's a tradition in Death Battle that I screw up Wiz's very first line. Although I haven't done it for season 2. I've been good for the last 2 episodes, but I always screw up that very first line and a lot of the times. I mean, we're really good with it other than that, but for some reason, that very first line, I always say it the wrong way. Sixth. He did it! That took 45 minutes in a sound booth for 6th. I don't know what was going on with me that day.
All right, we got 3 more. Thanks, man.
Hey, so this is for Sam and Chad. What's your favorite Mario Party like after the first 2? And also, what do you think of the 3DS one?
What was the second part of that?
The 3DS one they just...
Oh, the 3DS one. I haven't had a chance to play that, so...
I can't say either because I haven't played it, but I do believe that it's a pretty solid platform for it. I imagine it would work well.
Before anybody else, we're not going to do an After Dark on the 3DS one, because
there's no way to
have the camera set up, shooting us playing. It would be a giant pain. So, but I mean, my favorite Mario Party of all time is 1 and 2, like definitely.
He said besides 1 and 2.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm like, I don't know, like, 4 was exactly, 4 is alright.
The one Brian won, I can't remember if that's 4 or 5. 5, that one was fun. I like that one.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Maybe we're switching up now that Craig ruined it.
Hey guys, Defendant 2 again. I just wanted to thank you guys for existing and like helping me throughout my life. Just all this stuff, man. But my question is, Brian Stapler. Is there anything in the works for something like that? Because I mean, that was insane.
I ran into the water earlier.
Where's Hellman? The guy who bought my
Yeah, I ran into him earlier.
So, like, for those of you who don't know, real quick, we put a stapler on our store. It was Brian's little staple on for the desk.
The clip of the week. We put it on the store as a gag.
Yeah,
and I was like, $50.
For $50, and the idea was if anyone actually buys this, we're gonna give them so much crap that like way over $50 value.
I told Craig, I was like, I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, and whoever buys this, I'm gonna hook up with so much shit that everyone in the world is gonna regret not buying that stapler. And then also, for the next time I put some random item up, you'll know.
I thought about doing it, but usually, like, because we do acquire, like, clutter, because we have a lot of things we like to save, but we can't. So, like, I'll send them out. Like, for instance, we did that, what was it called? Well, Brian's Food. Yeah, what if Brian was food? We had the M&M tubes of Brian. We had Bri-tube, and I ended up sending that to the TTU drummer and Amethyst Owl just because they ordered, like, a bunch of shirts and stuff, and they're like, can you write a note? And I was like, sure, I'll write a note, and do you want stickers? And they're like, throw something special in, so I give them Bri-tube. Like, so that's the thing, like, I mean, order stuff, and we'll send you things if you ask, and, you know, because, like, we have a lot of things that have been piling up, especially on my desk, and I hate it. So you'll probably never see a stapler again, but I don't know. I can put stuff up if you want.
Thanks, guys. I do have a stapler at my desk.
Yeah, like, I mean, I can put up random crap on the site if people want to see that.
What's up, man? Last one, make it awesome.
I just stepped out and ate a pulled pork sandwich from this place. That is the best thing I have eaten. That was amazing. It was worth every penny.
I'm gonna get a pulled pork sandwich after this if anybody wants to join me.
We're going to run out of pulled pork.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. That's awesome. Hey, well, thank you guys, everybody, for being a part of SGC. Awesome, guys. We love everybody in this room. You guys are definitely part of our family. Thank you guys very much. Have a great rest of SGC. And we'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Pulled pork!
Yeah, let's go eat some pulled pork sandwiches.
Pulled pork, yeah. Now.